Hello, everyone. This is Tom Falwell. This is Essentia Live, issue number 5, and I have with me today is our guest, Lili Mahoney, an indie author, and we're going to talk about her book, Barefoot Pastures. And let's just start out. Say hello, Lili, and tell us a little bit about yourself and about your book.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Lili Mahoney, and my debut novel is a young adult novel titled Barefoot Pastures, as Tom said. It's been out just about a year now, and it's the first of 4 in a series that is based on a high school girl who travels around Texas competing in rodeo and all the trouble that her and her horse get into. Let me think what else. Besides my book, I'm a mom of 3. I've been a stay-at-home mom, and I've also been a career mom working 50, 60 hours a week. And now I'm also a writer.
So when did you start writing?
I started Barefoot Pastures roughly 4 years ago.
4 years. And you say there's 4 books. Have you already written it all, or are you just...
Yes, all 4 books are written, and I wrote them kind of all at once, and then I had to go back and find a breaking point for where each book needed to be its own standalone book, and then went back and started polishing, I guess you would say, book 1, and had it edited, and then the process of getting it published took about 2 years.
How come it took you so long to... Did you try going through the traditional channels first?
I did. I tried going through and getting an agent, and I had 2 different people that we were, I guess you could say, in negotiations with. Barefoot Pastures is rather long. It's about 160,000 words, and both of those individuals wanted me to cut it in half. And I wasn't comfortable doing that. The story really needed to be told the way it's told, it's written. And so I decided to do the indie thing, which I knew nothing about. So then I had to do quite a bit of research and decide how I wanted to do that, and then save a little bit of money and do that. And I'm glad I did.
You said the first book's 160,000 words, just with Barefoot Pastures?
Yes.
How big are the other 3?
They're roughly the same, anywhere between 140 and I think book 4 is about 180, but it's not polished, so that could change.
You said you wrote them all at once. That must have been one huge book.
It was a rather large document, yes.
I can't imagine I have enough trouble going through my little novels, reading them over and over and over again, trying to edit and stuff, so I can't imagine that. Tell us about who's the lead character. What was her name?
Tori. My main character is Tori. She is loosely based on my daughter, in kind of the situation that she lives in. We live in the city, however, we live on acreage, and we've just sort of been, the city has grown around us and sort of engulfed us. So she's kind of the only one that goes to school that raises animals and lives on land, doesn't have neighbors. Most of her friends live in duplexes or like apartments or in subdivisions. And so she's a little bit different. So that's kind of how my main character is. She's from the Houston area. Houston has enveloped the land that her family ranches, and she doesn't fit in, and she doesn't want to fit in. So she can be a little bit stubborn. She doesn't want to be of this era. She would rather be back in the Western days where it was just working on your ranch. You didn't have to go to school. You could just be with your horses and your cattle all day.
And how old is she in the story?
The main character, Tori, she's a senior in high school, so she's just 17, turning 18 in book 1, and trying to decide what she wants to do. If she wants to go to college like her family expects her to and become a vet, or she also works training horses for other people. And she thinks that she just wants to do that, even though she won't make the kind of money she would as a vet.
So her heart's in the rodeo,
Yeah.
but duty's calling from her parents
Right.
to go somewhere else. Okay.
Right. So it's very much a coming of age story,
Yeah.
and about finding who you are, meeting your goals and expectations, and dealing with other people's expectations of who you need to be, and also making yourself happy. Be true to yourself kind of story.
Now, you're talking about the rodeo. I'm from Oklahoma, so I know what the rodeo is, and I've been to them, but I haven't really been a big, huge fan or anything like that. And I think what most people, when you say rodeo, what they think about is the
Bull riding.
bull riding and wrestling and the clowns and all that. What is it that Tori does in the rodeo, and kind of explain that to us, because there's more to the rodeo than what most people think.
There is. Definitely bull riding is the most popular event in a rodeo, and often they even have their own bull riding event separate from a basic rodeo. Barrel racing historically has been the female event, and it's done in a couple of different ways. The most popular is what's called the cloverleaf pattern, where there's 3 barrels set out in the arena and you race around them in a cloverleaf pattern. And it's a timed event. It's usually done on horses that are very spunky. They're usually retired race horses or bred from race horses. They're quick and love to race, and so does the woman who rides them. Men do some barrel racing, not too much after they get into the age where they can be steer wrestling or riding bulls.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a popular event between both genders.
And I bet it's no less dangerous than.
Well, you're not strapping yourself to a one-ton bull. But yeah, you're riding a horse at their top speed in an arena that, it's dirt. You're going to fall. The horse is going to slip. It's imperative. It's going to happen that somebody's going to get hurt.
So
and
injuries do happen.
Injuries do happen. Oh, yeah. Usually you end up busting kneecaps on barrels.
So in the story in Tori's life, is there people that support her being in the rodeo, and then maybe those that are against her going there? Or?
I don't know that anybody necessarily is against her going there. They think she should. She's very competitive, and the romantic interest that comes along thinks that she should maybe tone it back a little bit, because she goes all out, full throttle, and doesn't care if she gets hurt. As long as she wins, that's the most important thing to her. The family that she grew up in, her daddy was a rodeo star. Her big brothers are rodeo stars. So they definitely push her, but they want her to do it all. They want her to make the grades in school, keep the title as all-around cowgirl, but still go to college and be something else as well.
So did the following books, is this going to take us beyond high school through her college years and so on?
Well, I don't want to give too much away, but it gets her out of she graduates high school in book 1, okay. And then the following 3 books.
Okay. Yeah, don't give nothing away. You got to keep interest there. And
it's a journey. You got to go with Tori on her journey.
Are you doing a cliffhanger thing, or do we get some kind of closure in book 1?
Book 1, some people think that there's a little bit of a cliffhanger by the way it ends, but it could definitely end that way, and you just don't have the rest of the story. You kind of can decide, based on that last sentence, where does it go from there?
Yeah. Sounds familiar. Sounds like what I did in one of my first ones. So what, did you ever participate in the rodeo yourself?
I did, yes. I did. I was a barrel racer all the way through college.
And that was in Texas?
It was. I was born in Odessa, Texas, and then I moved to San Antonio. Probably I was about 16, and that's where I met my high school sweetheart, and we got married.
You
Right,
said
right around my senior year in college.
you got 3 children?
I have 3 great babies, yes.
All 3 are babies? Oh, you got your hands full.
Well, no, my oldest is 13 and my youngest is 1.
And so how do you find time to write?
I don't sleep.
At all?
No, I do. I usually, once I get the house to bed, I'll stay up and write for a couple of hours.
So as book 1 is on sale now, and people are buying it and reading it, and I got it, and I haven't read it yet, but I will be reading it and giving my review.
Yay.
So are you just like polishing on the others, or?
The last year has been kind of busy because I had the baby and then I had an ankle reconstruction surgery, so I haven't been able to do too much. It's written, and I'd say it's 80% polished. I'm also working on the cover for it, so I hope in the next couple of months to get it done and out.
Okay, so you expect it to be released this year, book 2?
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, I understand Tori has some ornery brothers.
She does.
Tell us a little about them.
Tucker and Tyler are twins, and they're about 3 years older than Tori and full of shenanigans. They cut her no slack for being younger, and they definitely don't cut her any slack for being a girl. She hangs with them every opportunity, and they challenge her to be every bit a cowboy as they are.
Did you have brothers?
I have a younger brother, so no, they're really their own.
Well, what gave you the idea to have these?
They just appeared in my imagination.
Is it maybe a wish that you had older brothers or something?
Maybe so. I don't know.
Well, I can't think of much else. Unless there's something you want to talk about, I'll be sure and have a link.
Okay.
With the video to the book to Amazon, so that people can see if they watch the video, they'll see a link at the end to get the book.
Okay.
And I'll get all that set up. But is there anything you want to say to everyone? Do you have any advice for aspiring authors like yourself?
Yes, I actually never in a million years thought that I would be a writer. I'm dyslexic, and going through school, even college, was very much a chore. It was a lot of work for me. If you think you want to write, or you have a story that plays in your head, get it out, write it, and then share it with somebody. Let them read it and be open to what they say. And I'd say even let more than one person read it, because everybody has a different background and a different view. And you're going to get different opinions from different people based on who they are. It's scary. It's very scary to write something and then let somebody else read it. But if it's something that you think you want to do or you think you are good at, that's the first step. Write it, get it edited, and then share it.
Well, thank you, Lily.
Thanks.
I had the chance to talk with you, and I think this video, we tried to do this once before, and the video was all messed up. But this time, I think we got it good.
Good.
Hear your replies, and
Yay.
I just thank you for appearing on Essentia Live with me, and
Thanks.
I wish you the best of luck with your book. And like I said, it's on my reading list, so I'll get to it.
Thanks, Tom, and thank you for all that you've done to help other indie authors. You're a fantastic fella.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks.